Hello, I'm going to give you a tour of how we will be using Evernote in our classroom. If you have not yet set up your student's Evernote account and need help doing so, please see the instructional video we posted on establishing the student account. If you have your student's account set up, then we're going to get started here. So what you want to do first is select Web Sign-In. Here you will enter the information that you use to set up the account. So you can either use the email address you used or the username. So I'm going to enter the pretend student I set up, his information. This is where you go when you enter Evernote. And the first thing that we're going to look at is the notebooks. The notebooks is where you can keep or organize information in Evernote. So you want to think of notebooks as sort of being like a filing cabinet, and each notebook is a drawer that holds specific information. So Evernote defaults to just putting everything in all notes. We want to create notebooks for each class that your student will be using Evernote, just to help keep him or her organized. So in order to do that, what we want to do is go to the notebooks and click on the down arrow next to that category title. And it gives us the option to create a new notebook. You want to create a notebook for each class that your student uses Evernote. So we're going to set it up for language arts and for history, since we know for sure that we'll be using Evernote in those two classes. So you can name your notebooks whatever you want to name them. It just needs to be something that your child understands is the class. So I'm going to do WD-ELAR for Language Arts, stands for World Discoveries, English Language Arts and Reading. I'm going to set that one up. And you'll notice that it drops in under your notebooks. We want to create another one for history class now. And I'm going to call it WD History for World Discoveries History. Click Save, and you'll see it appear over here as well. Now, each individual notebook has options to them, and you can get to those options here with this down arrow. You can rename it, you can see the properties for the notebook, you can delete it if you make a mistake or want to change it, or you can share it. The share the notebook is a nice feature for if you as a parent have your own Evernote account and you want to keep track of your students' notes or just kind of see what they're doing in class. Your student can share the notebook with you, and then you'll have a notebook added to your notebooks file in your Evernote account that aligns with the students. So that's kind of a nice option to have. All right, so once the notebooks are set up, we want to go into the notebook in order to create a note. A note can be written and it can be revisited and added to as time goes on. So in class, Mrs. McMaster and I will help the students set up their notes so that they can find information and can be organized in class. So to give you an example of how we might do that, we will click New Note. We can see here that we are in the notebook WD-ELAR. If you need to delete that, you can do that with this X here. Or if you need to select another or different class, you can choose this down arrow here, which will give you the list of all your notebooks. So we want to be in ELAR because that's where we're going to add our note. And let's say we're going to title this note Parts of Speech. This is where your student will keep all their information on parts of speech that we talk about. So if we do say noun, we're going to define it. And we will certainly add more information, but just to show you how it works, we're going to click Done, and you'll see that the note is added over here. If we want to add another note for writing elements, say, and we want to add a few things in here, and we certainly would add more later, we'll click Done, and you'll see the note add to the side here. Now, if we want to go back to parts of speech, we will click in that, and the note is, you can get back into it and edit it. And you edit it by getting to the little pencil option here, and it will open the note for you to continue writing. And we can click done and we can save that information. This way we can keep adding to these elements as we go through the school year. Some things to know about your notebook. You can change the view option down here, and you can sort your notes within the notebook by the date it's created, the date that it's updated, or you can sort them by title, either ascending or descending order. So however it's best for your child to keep track of their notes, this is a way that they can do it here. The thing to know about notes, you have options over here. The pencil gives you an option to edit the note or add to it. This side arrow allows you to share the note. So if you want to email your information to somebody, you can do that here. You can delete the note altogether here. If you are attached to a printer, you can print your note. This allows you to set a reminder to the note. So if we create a note that is nothing but upcoming events, this will allow your child to set reminder notes so that they can get the information sent to them. It comes in the form of an email. In class, we will be using Evernote on the iPads. One of the great things about using Evernote on the iPads is that we can take pictures or video, even audio, and save those files into our Evernote accounts. So if students want to record a part of a lecture or take photographs of note slides that I give them in class, they can take those images and embed them into their notes here in Evernote so that they have access to them later. And that's a great option for the kids to be able to refer back to things that we do in class. When you are in the edit or writing function of a note, you have an option here to attach a file. So if your student is working on a Word document at home or a PowerPoint, if they're doing, I believe, even a keynote on the iPad, they can save that file into their Evernote account. This allows them to be able to access that file from home, or if they're working on it at home, they can attach it to their Evernote and then have access to it in class at school. So it's a great way to attach files. Because Evernote is not something that you can actively open a file, work in the file, and save it, they would have to be able to download it, work in it, and then reattach it into Evernote later. But it's a great way to attach files. Even if your student wants to build a portfolio of his or her own best work, they can create a portfolio in Evernote, attach images or attach the files, and keep those for later to refer back to. To exit Evernote, your student is going to want to come up to this top right-hand corner where their name or username appears. Click down and you can log out here. So that is how your student accesses Evernote. We will do a lot of the setup in class to set up the notebooks and the notes within the notebooks, but that is a basic tour of how we will be using Evernote in class. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to either call us or email us or come on by and see us. Thank you.